In the shadows of our kitchens, between the cracks of walls, inside the drains of forgotten basements, lives a creature that has survived nearly everything nature and humanity has thrown at it. We chase it, curse it, poison it, and swat at it with anything within reach. Yet it returns, undeterred, resilient. The cockroach, a humble insect that evokes universal disgust, but beneath that repulsion lies one of the most extraordinary survival stories in the natural world. The evolutionary history of the cockroach stretches back more than 300 million years. Long before the first dinosaur ever roared across the earth, cockroach-like insects were already crawling through ancient ferns and under the shadows of towering horsetail trees in the Carboniferous swamps. These primitive ancestors looked remarkably similar to the cockroaches of today, a testament to a design that evolution found little reason to change. Unlike many species that have undergone radical transformation or vanished entirely, the cockroach has remained a quiet constant, adapting only slightly while the world around it collapsed and reformed countless times. What makes this insect such an enduring success story? The answer lies in a blend of simplicity, efficiency, and biological cunning. Cockroaches are not intelligent in any human sense, yet they are master strategists of survival. They can thrive in almost any environment, from the steamy sewers of Mumbai to the high-rise apartments of Manhattan. Their bodies are flat and armored, enabling them to squeeze through gaps thinner than a credit card. They breathe through spiracles along their sides rather than a central airway, and their circulatory system is so primitive and decentralized that even decapitation doesn't immediately end their lives. A cockroach can survive for days without its head, dying only from thirst. Further, their metabolic flexibility is astonishing. Cockroaches can subsist on a wide variety of organic matter: glue, soap, hair, dead skin, paper, and even each other when necessary. They require little water and can hold their breath for over half an hour, an ability that likely evolved to survive floods or chemical attacks. Some species can endure freezing temperatures. Others thrive in tropical heat. One of their most infamous qualities is their resistance to radiation. While the idea that cockroaches would inherit the Earth after nuclear war is a bit exaggerated, it's grounded in truth. Cockroaches can withstand radiation levels 15 times greater than what would kill a human. And then there's their reproduction. The German cockroach, one of the most common urban pests, can go from egg to adult in just over a month. And a single female can lay up to 400 eggs in her lifetime. Under optimal conditions, their population can explode exponentially, making infestations rapid and difficult to control. Many pest control methods have become less effective over time because cockroaches evolve resistance to chemical poisons with alarming speed. Entire generations can adapt to new toxins within months, rendering traditional pesticides obsolete and forcing humanity to constantly invent new formulas. But the resilience of the cockroach is only part of what makes it such a fascinating and unsettling species. The human response to cockroaches is almost universally visceral. Unlike spiders, which are also feared but can be admired for their elegance or predatory grace, cockroaches rarely inspire awe. They are associated with filth, decay, and disease. Their movements are unpredictable and unnerving. Their sudden dashes across a floor or up a wall often trigger panic. There is a reason why the fear of cockroaches has been given a name in psychology: katsuridophobia. It is not just the potential for contamination that disturbs people, but something deeper, an evolutionary repulsion perhaps tied to the fear of infection, or simply the uncanny nature of a creature that seems to exist just outside the boundaries of our control. Yet in truth, most cockroaches pose little direct threat to human health. While they can carry bacteria if exposed to sewage, they are not aggressive biters, and only a handful of species are considered true pests. The vast majority of cockroach species, over 95%, live harmlessly in forests, caves, and leaf litter, playing vital roles as decomposers. They break down organic matter, recycling nutrients into the soil and serving as food for countless other animals. In many ecosystems, they are a quiet but essential cog in the wheel of life. Throughout human history, cockroaches have had a complicated cultural presence. In ancient Chinese medicine, dried cockroaches were ground into powders used to treat wounds and inflammation. In Egypt and Mesopotamia, they appeared in spells and superstitions, often associated with disease or impurity. In Europe's Middle Ages, they were believed to be spawned from decay itself, products of miasma and evil air. But they have also inspired Hamite art and literature. Perhaps the most famous example is Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis, in which the protagonist wakes up to find himself transformed into a monstrous insect, often interpreted as a cockroach. The story, with all its bleak alienation, taps into the deep discomfort we feel toward creatures that dwell in filth and yet endure. In modern times, cockroaches have crawled into film and television as symbols of urban neglect or apocalyptic ruin. From horror to sci-fi, they are shorthand for decay, for what survives after everything else collapses. But in laboratories, they are viewed differently, as useful biological models. Their relatively simple nervous systems are studied to understand reflexes and neurochemistry. Some researchers have extracted antimicrobial molecules from their brains that show promise against drug-resistant bacteria. Roboticists have even created remote-controlled cockroaches fitted with microchips and antennas, which could one day be used to navigate rubble after natural disasters to locate survivors. And then comes the future, the one where cockroaches may not just live beside us, but feed us. In parts of Asia, farms are already breeding cockroaches on a massive scale, not for pest control, but for food and pharmaceuticals. They grow quickly, require little feed, and are a rich source of protein. Insects in general are being considered as sustainable alternatives to traditional meat, and cockroaches, for all their negative PR, might be part of the answer to global food insecurity. Powdered cockroach protein is already being incorporated into supplements, and in some restaurants, crispy cockroach snacks are on the menu for the bold. Despite our efforts to kill them, despite our revulsion and fear, cockroaches persist. They do not need us. They were here before us, and they may well remain long after we're gone. In them, we see everything we wish not to become: dirty, invasive, unwanted, but also everything we need to survive: adaptable, enduring, resourceful. Perhaps in the end, the cockroach is not our enemy, but our reflection. While we chase innovation and dominance, it thrives through simplicity and patience. It teaches us that survival is not always about power or intelligence, but about fitting quietly into the crevices of the world, waiting out the chaos. And so, the next time a cockroach scurries across your floor, before you reach for the spray or the shoe, pause for just a second. What you're seeing isn't just an insect. It's a miracle in miniature, a living fossil, a biological masterpiece. And above all, whether we like it or not, it's a survivor.